Okay, hello, and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Sana,
And my name is Rhea.
and in this one, we are doing a young man's long, awkward, occasionally tragic, and frequently humiliating education and affairs of the heart, part 2, The Dance. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that in one breath. I'm so proud of myself. In this story, well, if you saw our previous recording, we said we would do it in the episode after the next, but we just decided that it will make more sense for you guys if we did it in the next episode. So let's start. In the last episode, we covered the fact that his date dumped him.
Yeah.
It was quite
his
sad.
Date that was a human. His first date that was a human.
Yeah, just technically he did not date Foofy. He had play dates.
He loved her.
Let's just
first person he loved that was a human that dumped him.
Yeah. Okay. So in this one, Ray, do you want to kick us off and start?
So Trevor is now in high school, going to college approximately, and he and his friend have been selling CDs. So he has two middlemen who help him sell, and he's like the main guy since now the other two people who had him as his middleman left. So now he's running this business, and he has the two middlemen. So one of the middlemen, I think his name is Tom.
Yeah.
He says, if you give me a raise. Well, originally Trevor and Tom are discussing about what they're doing for the dance. So Tom already has a date because he talks a lot. And Trevor is like, I don't have a date, I don't want a date, and I won't get a date. So Tom's like, if you give me a raise in the CDs, I'll get you the most beautiful date you've ever seen.
Well, technically, he didn't say he doesn't want a date. He just said he doesn't have a date. He's probably not going to get one.
Sort of like that. And then Tom said, well, if you give me a raise in the CDs, I'll have you get the most beautiful date you've ever seen.
Honestly, I wonder how much the raise was, because it could have been 0.0001%.
Yeah, so then Trevor was like, sure, because he thought that Tom would not be able to do it. The next day, Tom tells him, I found the girl. Trevor's confused, but he goes with him. Now, we'll let Sana continue.
Okay, so the girl's name is Babiki. So they go to her house. Well, no. First of all, they meet, and Tom is talking a lot, like always.
And Tom found her because his date is her sister.
Yeah. So, again, Tom was talking a lot, but when Trevor saw Babiki, he thought, oh my god, that is the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. Right? So, honestly, I don't know who would fall in love that much, even though they have just met her. Weird, but let's continue with the story. So he thinks, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I love her. And then they start talking. Well, technically, later on in the story, he realizes that he didn't actually talk to her. She just said yes, no, hello, bye. Tom was doing most of the talking. And we'll see why later on in the episode.
The funny thing is that I'm a bit confused about. He just loved her because of how she looks. Isn't that a little...
Yeah, isn't that a little bit weird? Don't judge a book by its cover. Again, she could look pretty, she could be the devil.
Yeah.
You could never know.
But we'll continue on with the story.
Rhea, do you want to continue?
Yeah. So another part of the story was Trevor really wanted to impress her. So he got ready. His friend even took him to the salon, and he got his hair done. His hair was like a big mess. It was like poofy.
It was a big fat afro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now it got trimmed down. It got nice.
He braided it, and then his friend was like, we should get a good car. Trevor agreed. So
also, first of all, the friend that got him to the salon and to get new clothes and stuff was the other middleman he had. But when the person who asked him to get a nice car was Tom. So, he has a stepfather named Abel, who his mom is dating because, again, stepfather. So Abel sells cars, and he has this really, really nice car. It's a BMW. But so basically, he goes up to Abel. Like both of them go up to Abel, and they're like, bro, we need this car to impress my date to the dance. And like Abel's like, no way, dude. And then Tom thinks up a plan. He says, if we show you the girl and you think she's like the most beautiful girl in the world, then you have to give us the car. He gave them car.
Well, actually, what happens, it makes it a bit funnier. He tells
them
he
that they can have the car.
Well, yeah, let me explain. So he tells Babiki that his parents want to meet her. So Babiki's like, okay, so she goes to their house. Then Trevor leaves and they talk for a while, Abel and Babiki. And then Abel comes out and he talks to Trevor when she's gone. And then he says, is that the girl? Trevor says, yeah. And then Abel says, you can take the car. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
He's
you should totally read it. Like, this is a podcast about it, but that doesn't mean that you should not read the book. It will give you a better understanding, and some of the parts that we missed out, you can laugh on. Unless we didn't miss out any parts.
The book is very funny. You should really read it.
Yeah, you really should. So, from there, on the night of the dance, he's an hour late.
Oh, yeah. So then, actually what happens on the night of the dance, Abel is drunk. Because he's been going drunk for a few days. And, well, it's a habit of his. So Trevor asks him, can we take the BMW? And then Abel says, if you buy me 6 beers. So then Trevor and his friend Tom go and buy the beers. Then they come back. Then they're like, now can we take it? And then Abel's like, no. Then they were arguing for some time. And then they realized that Abel wasn't going to give them the car.
So they took a rundown red car.
Mazda.
Yeah.
They took a broken Mazda instead. And Trevor then came to pick Babiki up. And Babiki was irritated.
Very mad. Not irritated. Yeah. Very mad.
So she was standing there. She got in the car. Then Trevor drove her to the dance. She didn't get out of the car. But what happened was one dude came out. And he's like, she's so pretty. So then he kept calling other people. And these other boys started taking pictures of her.
Yeah, until the point where it's all like died down and stuff. So the dance is going on. Babiki is in the car. Trevor is pacing around wondering how to get Babiki out of the car.
And then finally the dance is like ended. So he drops her back to her house.
Wait, but first he realizes that this is a reference to something that I said earlier. He realizes that they have not talked. It was Tom who was doing all the talking. Because
Babiki actually never spoke the language that Trevor could speak. Trevor could speak a lot of languages, but he could not speak what she was speaking.
Yeah, again, you should totally read the book. You will understand what we mean by he can speak like a lot of languages. It's in part 1 in one of the chapters. I really suggest you read it. So, he realizes that they have never talked because they speak in different languages. Only Tom spoke the language that she spoke. So, she dropped Babiki off at her house, and guess what she does? Spoiler alert, she kisses him.
She literally kisses him. They didn't talk the whole day, the whole night. She didn't get out of the car, but she kisses him. It's a little...
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just no. Like, in my personal opinion, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? What are you trying to achieve? But that is just my personal opinion. If any of you guys understand why she did that, then...
please let us know.
Yeah, please. This is just very, very irritating in my mind. It's just going over and over again. I have no clue why. So that's it for today's episode. The next one will be going back to either part 1 or we'll be going forward to part 3. So to see what we do, please watch the next episode and watch the previous episodes. Some of them have references. Some of the things that we've talked about have references to other like chapters and episodes that we've talked about. So again, we totally suggest you read the book and listen to our previous episodes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.